Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 142.
Hello, guys.
Hey, Princess.
Hello.
How are you?
Tired, but good.
You're always tired.
I am always tired.
You're 15.
Pushing 55.
Oh, good grief.
You know who else is pushing 55? I don't know.
No, I'm not. Anyway.
Sorry, we're like 65.
Punk.
He loves me.
It's true. I do. So anyway, this week in Flyerland. So first, before I forget, the weekend of June 14th is the pickleball, golf, and 5K again.
Are we doing the 5K?
Hmm?
We're doing this one?
Hmm?
I was not made aware of that.
Better get prepared. Run.
What weekend is that?
2 weeks from now.
Right.
Oh, stop. You're in
Right.
excellent shape.
Right.
You dance every night.
Yeah, it's not running.
Well, your field hockey's coming up. You better start running again.
Don't remind me.
Run!
Don't remind me.
Run, little girl.
Cheyenne, don't run.
Cheyenne, you ran a time and a half last time. Because you got lost. Because you have a terrible sense of direction.
Hey, I ran a 7.5K.
You did.
So...
Because you're not supposed to have passed me twice, but you did. So I know you got off the track.
I'm just really fast, Dad.
You're super fast, kid.
7.5K.
That's hilarious. I'm like, why are you passing me again? It's a loop. Then you were like, I went to the playground for a while.
I did. I played on the playground. I think
Yes.
I called one of my friends at one point.
Yes, I power walked it. You ran it. It was a big difference. So
I jogged. I walked. I ran. I don't know. I did some things.
you're like, do I have to stay with you, old man? I'm like, no, go ahead. Anyway, so this is coming up. If you didn't do the events last year, the pickleball was a blast.
Yeah.
And then the 5K was fun, and there was a ton of flyers there. They haven't released a full name yet, but Leclerc, Recchi, and Tockett I've seen.
Yeah.
And the pickleball's great. Riley Cote, Neil Little, Paul Holmgren. And Holmgren and Little are no joke. I mean, they're like pro pickleball players. But it was a lot of fun. And I'm sure you'll see more names released in the next 2 weeks.
Are you going to play more pickleball when you retire? Is that what you'll do in your future?
Yeah, it was kind of fun. It was my ankles hurt. Like it uses a different set of muscles than like other sports.
It does, because it's... Yeah.
Like the way you stop like that.
Yeah,
So
stop.
I had to like that and then
you have to be bouncy on your feet. You have to be very light.
that and the 5K the next day wasn't much fun, but I'm more prepared for this year. But yeah, but I really enjoyed pickleball. It uses different leg muscles than like other sports. But it was a lot of fun. And the guys were great. I mean, hanging out with Riley's always great. The Little's hilarious. I got to see the Sutter brothers, which was cool. And I had a great time last year. Okay, so the big thing, because this one's going to be a really long episode. So I went in 1976, always waiting for the smart aleck remark.
Dad was 1 year old.
In 1976, the Flyers played the Soviet Union in a hockey game.
Almost Dad's first birthday.
The Soviets had pretty much whooped every NHL team. Last team on the thing was the Flyers. So it was up to the Flyers to uphold the honor of the entire NHL. Because back then, of course, Russia and the United States was an even bigger rivalry than it is now.
Yeah.
And the Flyers did it. They basically kicked the Russians' ass up and down the ice, and they beat them 4-1.
Hey, you can't say that. We're on YouTube.
Oh, buttocks?
There you go. Can't say that. We're on YouTube. Behave.
Really? Okay.
Can't say on YouTube. Behave.
So,
We are a child-friendly channel. I had to put that down when we made this channel.
well, because you were a little child then.
We are child-friendly.
I'm sorry. They kicked their butt.
There you go.
So, a gentleman made a movie about it. The documentary is excellent.
Yeah.
He also interviewed, so it's like live footage intermixed with interviewing most of the living members of the Flyers who were on that team. Actually, Ed Van Impe passed away, and he's been interviewed too. So I guess technically even interviewed a dead person, but no, he was alive at the time, and rest in peace, Ed. But
yeah, they definitely. Dog Man was great for it.
But him and Bernie are both part of the documentary, which was great to see both of them.
Yeah.
And they had a big. So I went to the theater in Philly. they played the documentary, and then they had a big Q&A with the players, and I forgot, it was 11 guys there, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. So I recorded some of the Q&A in spots, so that's attached to the end of this if you want to watch it. The movie's still playing. I highly recommend you go see it at a movie theater, and you won't get all the flyers, but at each one there's been different flyers at the events. So if you haven't seen it yet, you should really try to see it in the theater. If not, eventually it's coming to a streaming service. He didn't know whether it was Netflix or Prime or what, but...
We'll know eventually.
Yes, if you don't have a chance to see it in the theater, you definitely want to watch it. It was clearly worth watching. Oh, and she likes to unbox things, so there's merch.
There's a bag of goodies.
Go ahead, show them the merch.
Look how fancy the bag is, too.
Even the bag was fancy. She loves unboxing merch.
I do. We got a book. We got the now on the back, but it also is like movie, and it has the teams and the date of the world premiere.
Yeah, the movie's called Cold War in Philly. Program.
Yeah, program. Some cool things in there, some photos and fun things. We have a poster.
It's just a big version of this.
Just kidding, don't open. But yeah, it's just that.
Yeah.
It's literally just that.
It's a nice poster, but
It's still a
it's
nice
just a big
poster.
version of that.
And then we got the box. Get this box. Ooh.
Fancy box.
Ooh. Fancy box. And you open it.
There's something breakable inside, so try not to drop the box.
And then inside it says, like, right here, it says, like, the game the world watched. And then it has, like, some, like, quotes and whatnot. And there's a pint glass. I almost dropped it. There's a pint glass. I almost dropped the box, and then I almost dropped the glass while I was trying to catch the box. There's a lanyard. I really like lanyards. They make me feel cool and fancy when I wear them. We can add them to the ones right there.
Yes, we'll add some other ladders we've got.
We'll put those over there.
Different flyers events.
Yeah.
How I love you, kid.
Yeah, that's everything we got. Swag bag. Woo!
So please stick around to the end. There's some pictures,
Photos,
and
videos.
a good amount of video if you're interested in what the Flyers had to say about the game. And I love when hockey players, like old teammates, make fun of each other.
They're a bunch of teenage boys, I promise you.
Yeah, even at this age.
They haven't
still,
grown up a single day.
No. So we hope you enjoy it. Like I said, really do try to go see the movie, and hopefully we'll see you in like 2 weeks at the event.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, guys. Ooh, you know what this means, Dad? You have to buy me a new pair of sneakers. My good pair of sneakers has holes in them. So.
You're the third kid. You can wear a hand-me-down for one of your sisters.
I got tiny feet. I don't fit in their shoes. They're like Bigfoot.
We'll go to Dick's.
Yeah.
We get beat, and we were still in first place. It was unfortunately we lost. But it struck me when Bobby came into the locker room, took a stick and jammed it into the stick rack, and just was so frustrated. And from that point on, I said to myself, if this guy is going to care this much about this hockey team, and of course I'm part of it, I better do more myself. That's the kind of an inspiration he was. And I've never forgotten that. This guy was a leader beyond leaders. And when Bobby Clarke came to Philadelphia, that's when the Flyers became real good. They turned it around right away. The second story is that just regarding the game, I remember the stakes were very high. We had to win. And the NHL did something that, of course, they'd never done before. The referee-in-chief, Scotty Morrison, comes into our locker room before the game. Think about that. The referee-in-chief comes into our locker room before the game. He says, fellas, we're going to let you play today. And you can imagine guys like the Hound and Dave Schultz and Johnny Selesky and Andre Dupont, they're just licking their chops. But that was quite a shock, because that was the only time the National Hockey League cared for the Flyers.
Was a huge part of the Philadelphia Flyers. He played on numerous teams. He actually, I don't want to tell you how old he is, but he started playing the National Hockey League in 1963. Yeah, he's only 13 years old.
Don't tell him. Don't ask.
Oh no, there we go. Okay, all right. Well, your gray hair gave it away. So I gotta ask you a question. Okay, See, here we go. We always go at it pretty good, okay? We always go at it pretty good. But looking back at all the teams you played for, all the events that you've been involved with the National Hockey League, where does playing with the Philadelphia Flyers stand with everything else?
First off, I'd just like to say, for starters, is that I was taught when we had one of these sessions that the mind can only absorb what the ass can endure. So we should be really sensitive to that here, guys, for the rest of the night, okay, please? Enough. What was your question again? Yeah. You said I'm old, and I can't remember, it's a long time past. It's something about being in a team and whatnot. I'll go back real quick for you when the Islanders and Atlanta came into the league. I was one of the first ones which got traded from St. Louis Blues to the Islanders. And as everybody knows, I went from the Islanders 1 hour before the trade deadline. And back then the trade deadline was midnight. So we were playing in Detroit, and the game's over. We're in a bar in Detroit. Where 11 o'clock, I'm going to buy a round. Believe it or not, I was going to buy a round. I was going to buy the round. I know you guys say that. And the bartender...
This is a lie. This is already a lie.
Because there are crisp here, and I said, that's me. And the phone's Earl Ingerfield, our coach. He says, Crispy, you got to come back to the hotel. I says, just tell me where I'm going. No, come on back to the hotel. I don't want to talk about it. I just paid for a round of beer, and that was my money. I've got to know. He said, well, we just traded you to Philadelphia. I says, what? He says, we just traded you to Philadelphia. And I said in no uncertain terms, what the F does Philadelphia want with me? He says, F if I know. So my reaction was, I'm going to Philly, but nobody knows why I'm going to Philly. So I go to Philly, with the track, have a meeting with Freddie. And Freddie Shirley already know one of the best ever that meets people. And he introduced me to him, and he says, Crispy, he says, you know, I always had quotes, as we all know. And he says, we're not all created equal, and we're not all be treated equal. And I says, okay, that's, yeah, that's, you know, you will not get the same ice time as Bobby Clark. I said, why not? So he says, well, but the crux of the story is that when I got here, Freddie wanted me as a defensive player because he'd had me before, and get this one, along with Kinderchuk and Clement and you and whatnot, penalty killer. Yeah. Now you know what I'm getting at. I got more ice time than Bobby Clark. Yeah. You can say it, yeah. Not bad. Okay. I'm done.
Okay, I mean, somebody said in the film about like you're a little pinball, like you're just pushing the ring, just let you go. I mean, you are the epitome of a team player understanding your position. And I applaud you for it, but describe your thoughts, because you are a big part of this team. You geared it up. If things were getting a little slow, you go out like you did in that film and gear it up.
I was well rested. You only used me 2 or 3 times a period.
So he had a lot of energy.
Oh yeah, lots of gas in the tank. Always check your tank first before you go out, trust me.
How many shifts did you get in that game?
You know what? There was so many I couldn't keep track. They were very short shifts.
Yeah, that's what they were saying on the bench, right? Short shift, boys.
You're up, Eddie. You're up, Eddie. I gotta tell you that I'd like to speak a little bit about our organization, Flyers. What an awesome place to come to. You know, I was able to do 20 years here in Philadelphia, and I've had nothing but the greatest of times meeting the best of people. You guys are all here tonight, sacrificing yourself to listen to this stuff, but it's all real good, and I can't thank the staff, the management especially. Everything that we have in there is all because of them. They've made our world so much nicer, and everybody buys into it. Like, there's no animosity in there. When you come and you show up as a team, everything starts within the locker room.
And then from there you build on it. And then new people you bring in, you take them out, you make them feel comfortable, do everything you can do for them, and then hopefully you move on and you turn the kid into them. I mean, we've got some great young kids in the system right now. You just got to make sure that they can continue to grow and try themselves, test yourself. And you never know where you're going to end up. Could be here sitting here watching us in 5 years, who knows? But it's all been really, really good. People have been outstanding. The organizations here are great. Tremendous leadership here. Thank you guys so much for all you do for all of us. Because without you guys, it's a long road to the hall, and you guys are just awesome to be around. So I've had a great 20 years, and I thank you guys truly for all that.
Good broadcasters. They've developed coaches throughout the National Hockey League. And a gentleman that's sitting in the middle that I've already joked about had a towel around his neck because he kind of made a living for a lot of years sitting on his ass. I can't deny it. Can't deny it. But Bobby Taylor was originally the backup goaltender for Bernie. Then he was a longtime broadcaster for the Philadelphia Flyers until 1993. And then has now still been with the Tampa Bay Lightning to this day. So he's watched a lot of hockey. A lot of hockey. So for a guy that was sitting there and watching that, what do you remember about it like being in anything special in your mind?
Well, I think, Dorney said it on film. Watching Tretiak was incredible. It being another goalie, take a look at the other goalie to see how he played and everything. And Dorney was right. If it wasn't for him, we should have beat him 10-1. This guy was incredible. Crispy and I were just talking. I think he was the first European to be elected to the National Hockey League Hall of Fame. And I think Tretiak's in there now. Yeah. And he was really, really, really good. And but I felt bad for Steph. At the start of the game, we were supposed to split the game in half. And I forget how it worked out, who got to get the start. I think it was rock, paper, scissors, and I think Wayne beat me. But it came to the 10-minute mark of the second period, and they hadn't scored yet. And so Freddie mentioned it to me. He says he's got a shutout going, and I think they only had 4 shots at the time. And back then, we were just worried about beating them. We didn't care, and I didn't care. So he said, and then, you said, Freddie, he can't pull him out now. He's got a shutout. 48 seconds later, the Russians scored. But it was one of those things that we knew, as you've heard in the film and the guys talking about it, we knew how important it was for us not just to win the game, but to dominate the game. And we did. And it was really incredible. And I don't think the people that talked about the game really spent much time as saying how well Tretiak kept the Russians in the game. They're talking about how well we played and everything, but if it wasn't for him, they would have been really embarrassed. And I think that was one of the reasons why they walked off in the first period. Yeah, the hit was a big one from Eddie, but that was an excuse for them to get out because they only had 2 shots. And they were just absolutely fully embarrassed. They were being so outplayed. They didn't know what to do. Every time they turned around, they had one of us in their face. And they just couldn't do what they were supposed to do. And, it's like the Russian hockey, or it was like European hockey. They kept circling and circling and circling. And when we were playing in that era, it was more of a dump and chase, forecheck, get the puck in deep and go get it. And they thought that's how we were going to play, and we didn't. And we were told, Mike Nicolak, who was our assistant coach at the time, came back and told Freddie, he says, listen, we should make sure that the guys that if we're not 90% sure of getting that puck in the zone, we just clog the middle. So basically, I think we played the trap before even Jacques Lemaire put it in New Jersey. But they were so confused and so embarrassed because they had been so successful that I thought was one of the biggest reasons why they walked off the ice.
A lot. When you're skating on one side of the ice and you're looking over and you can just feel the tenseness when you get into a game like that. Bert, can you expand on with that?
How do you turn this thing on? It's on.
Yeah.
Just a lot of stare downs. Just
Pretty exciting.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was like you're sizing the guy up. It's like you're looking at him and you're gauging where their head is based on their expressions and how they appear, and you can see it. I mean, we used to play against some teams in the NHL that you could see when they came into Philadelphia, they didn't want to be there. And that was kind of the same sense that, at least that I got from these guys, was that they were a little concerned about what would happen. And just watching this documentary, if you saw that one shift that Hound had, if he had two like that, nobody wanted to be out there on the ice against him. He was hitting everything in sight.
What was their demeanor like when they did come back after being underneath, trying to bail out?
Subdued. You could see they were, they knew they had to play the game, but they lost a little bit of their motivation.
What was the banner like?
They
in the
were
locker
ready for
room?
defeat.
Yeah. What was the banner?
Introduced 12 seasons with the Flyers, Cup winner 74 and 75, Flyers Hall of Fame and Hockey Hall of Fame, and a 50-goal scorer, member of the LCB line, Phil Barber. Next up is another Flyers Hall of Famer in '92, the other member of the LCB line, the Riverton Rifle, 75 Cup winner, Conn Smythe winner, 13 NHL seasons, Reg Lynch.